Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Basketball, TITTH number 200. I'm your host, Justin Bruni. I got Stephen Hammond with me this evening. How are we doing, sir? Happy Friday. We made it.
Happy Friday, and we hit number 200 here.
We'll just turn that down really quick. My bad. You got to keep the old iPad open here so we can see Twitter going on. My bad, y'all. Yeah, exciting stuff. 200. Been on triple digits for a while, but yeah, 200 feels pretty nice.
Yeah,
I was doing a solo show last night by myself. My brother couldn't make it to our hockey episode, so I was writing a little solo, very reminiscent of like the first 30 episodes of this channel. So yeah, that was, got back to the basics a little bit right before we hit big 200. Very excited. First 200 have been awesome. Ready for the next 200. Ready to roll here. But how are you doing this Friday, man? How was your week?
It was good. I mean, happy we made it to this weekend. We got more basketball tonight. How about you?
Pretty good. Did last night in the pretty well. Excuse me. Last night in the association went 3-0. Only picking totals. I did not like the games, and honestly, I haven't been really hitting the totals recently. So that was a nice little refresher. But kind of pancaked a little bit in hockey. Went 6-3. Drew even. That wasn't the greatest, and then NFL action. That sucked. That was not fun to watch.
Yeah,
especially if you were like me and you heavily leaned into the Ravens. Not great, not ideal, we'll say. But let's get into it. Let's make some money back tonight. What are your best props for tonight, or your best prop? Your singular, I should say.
Yeah, so I got Zach LaVine to score 30 plus. That's sitting at plus money, plus 140. I like it. I think them matched up against the Warriors. It's two really good teams. Zach LaVine seems to turn it on in those games. There is a bit of a fear that DeRozan's the one that goes off for 30, and that would obviously hinder my chances there with Zach LaVine getting it. But I like it. I like Curry and LaVine both to have monster games.
I think they're going to cancel each other out. We'll get to that here in a little bit because they're actually our monkey knife fight props, those two, and their points. So we'll get to that in a bit. But I feel like there's actually going to be a little bit more defense in that game. Bulls go on the road, all that jazz. But we'll see. Be exciting for it. You got two really good teams going, 8-3 Bulls, 10-1 Warriors. Should be a good game. My best prop for the night is Drew Eubanks of the San Antonio Spurs. I know. Don't bet on the Spurs. Don't bet on Spurs players. But no one stopped me from doing it, so I went ahead and did it. Jacob Poeltl has been out for the past couple of games for the Spurs. Drew Eubanks drawing that starting spot at center. He's played the most minutes he's played in any game the past couple of games here. So he's at 19.5 for total rebounds, points, and assists, so TRA. I think he's going to go over the 19.5. That's also paying plus money, plus 100. In his last game, he had 18 points. And the game before that, I believe he hit 24 between all of them. He's only getting about one to two assists at most, even if he gets those. So realistically, I still feel like he can hit this with points and rebounds alone. So definitely prop up some Drew Eubanks. He's also going to be in our fantasy waiver wire this evening. So let's jump over to our monkey knife fight props. If you guys have any questions, anything you want to share in the chat, or anything you want to ask, whether it's trade, fantasy props, let us know. Drop it in there. All right, first up, we've got Luka Doncic versus DeJounte Murray. Mavericks versus the Spurs tonight. You got point total here. Luka Doncic 26.5, Murray at 17.5. I like the under for Doncic, and I like the over for Murray, surprisingly. Doncic actually has only hit this number twice out of his last 6 games. Wouldn't call it struggling. He's coming close, like 22, 23 points, but he's not getting over the hump. So I'm going to go under for Luka, who's got a tough matchup up against a stronger defensive player in DeJounte Murray. And Murray's been cleaning up this number. He is 5-2 in his last 7. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Luka's just really getting to that like 23 to 25 range. And this year with the calls, not necessarily that the players are getting, I think that's kind of hurting him. He's not getting to the line as much. So I like him under. Murray, he's been solid for at least 20 lately. So I think the over for here is pretty easy. 17.5 is pretty low.
Yeah, Murray's just been the driving force for that Spurs team. Obviously, Luka's the same way. He's going to have like one of the highest usage totals. But like you said, maybe not getting the calls, trying to adapt to the new playability in the NBA, not getting those, easy free throws or easy gains to the line, I should say, with those cheap calls, trying to purposely make contact for drawing fouls. Next up, we have a fantasy points battle between Trey Young and Will Barton. Trey Young and Will Barton. Young is at 40.5 fantasy points and Barton is at 30.5. I like the under for Trey. I think the number is just too big. If he was scoring a little bit more consistently, I would like it, but that has not been the case. Will Barton, he's been on fire recently. He did have a really big game in their last game because Jokic was out. I still think that he goes over this number, playing a lot of minutes, over 30 a game, very heavily involved in that game plan. Kind of that pivot man, whether he's taking the shot or making the extra pass. Like that upside for him to go over the 30.5. And Trey Young, it'll be close. Like he'll probably get 32 to 37, somewhere in that range. But if you just look at his last 5 to 6 games, like he's not clipping this number. So I'm going to go under the 40.5.
So I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to go over on Trey Young. He hasn't necessarily been playing well. The Hawks as a whole haven't been playing really well.
Correct.
But I like it because of all the people that Denver is going to be missing in this game. I think he can hit it with points and assists, and then you get some of these other stats in there that he might get a few. So I think he can get that done. I'm also going to go over on Will Barton. I hit on injuries. He's getting more playing time. He's been scoring at a pretty decent clip lately. So I like him to go over because he also just kind of puts in other stats throughout the stat sheet. So I think he can come close to this just in points. And then I think over.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. I was looking at Denver. I know that Michael Porter's out. I'm an owner in fantasy. That sucks. But was there anyone else that was missing?
I mean, Jamal Murray, he's still out, I believe.
Whole year. Yeah. He's going to be gone. What do you think about, just really quick, what do you think about John Wall potentially going to Denver? I was reading that today. That could be a nice little opportunity.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I mean, free John Wall. That's what I've been saying from last year. I mean, he needs to be playing meaningful basketball. I like him there. Only thing is, he's really going to have to get some time with rest. He's not going to be able to play back-to-back, something like that.
Right.
I guess if they're fighting injuries, it'd be, you're adding a good scorer there.
No, absolutely. I think he'd be a great fit on this team. I don't necessarily know if they have to get somebody. I mean, Monty Morris is probably not the most ideal, guy leading this group. Will Barton, Aaron Gordon. They have Jeff Green starting with Michael Porter out. I think that's a pretty decent move. I would love if the Bulls could get Jeff Green. I mean, Bull would be a dream, but Jeff Green, he's old man. I don't think it would cost much. Like that's a big plug and play that we would love to have. But then, of course, Nikola Jokic. I think he's still going to be their driving force tonight. Spoiler, I like them at home. We'll get to that here soon. All right, moving along here. Last one up, we've got Steph versus Zach. So Steph's at 31.5 points and Zach LaVine is at 27.5. I have both going to the under. Sneaky defense, I feel like. Golden State, I didn't realize this. They are number 2 in the NBA for total score on defense. You know who number 3 is, Steve?
No.
The Bulls.
There we go.
Number 2 and 3. Like, I'm going to take the under in that game, and I'm going to take the under in these props. I feel like we're going to have a little bit more defense available to us tonight. Plus, we have the Bulls going on the road. Been playing well at home recently. We've seen some decent performances on the road, but when you go out west, you have that whole trip. Obviously, that's going to be a part of the narrative in this game, just the natural game flow. But you have 2 really good teams going against each other. I could be wrong here. Are you going over for both, I'm assuming, then?
Yeah. I'm going over for both. I think it's just, obviously with LaVine, I'm going over.
Right.
I just think it's one of those good basketball breeds, some good players to have good games.
Hey, fair enough. I would love to see fireworks in that game. Definitely going to be tuning in for that one. That's the stay up game for sure. Thank God it's Friday.
Most meaningful game for the Bulls in probably how many years?
Well, the Philly games that we lost back to back, like those were really good games. Those were really good games. I'd love to split that. I would have loved to split those 2 games, but they just came down to the wire. And man, like if you saw Embiid at the end of I think it was at the end of the first one. They had a bigger margin of victory in that first one. I think we were down by like 2 or 3 or something like that, and he was getting double teamed, and he just pulled up like 3 or 4 feet behind the 3-point line and swoosh, just nothing, just nail in the coffin, man. Dude's been a machine. He's got COVID. Joel Embiid. Fantasy owners out there, you're certainly aware of this situation, but it seems like he's not going to get back until the middle of next week. So definitely a situation to monitor. And we've got tip off with the Celtics and the Bucks. I have the over in this game, which is terrible because Giannis is out. So that was not a good bet to make before getting the final injury report. Shame on me. Jason Tatum passing off, very abnormal. Hey, extra ball movement. What the Celtics need? What the Celtics need? Just ask Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into our game previews. Obviously, this one has already started, the Celtics and the Bucks. We're going to get back to this game at the back end of our show when we cover our live betting segment. But first up, we have got the Portland Trailblazers traveling to the Houston Rockets, coming in as road favorites, -6.5 on the spread, -255 on the money line. The over-under in this game is at 222.5. What do you like here, Steve? Rockets are laying +215 at home.
I'm going to take the Rockets +6.5. I've seen that number even climb a little bit higher to 7. Love that. Rockets 9-2 against the spread this year. The Trailblazers only 4-8.
What did you just say? They're 9 and what?
9-2 against the spread.
The Rockets?
Uh-huh.
Where are you seeing
Don't you have that? I'm pretty sure that's what
Pretty sure they're 5-5-1 ATS this season.
All right, well, disregard that. Where did I see that? Record versus spread? I have 9-2.
What's your source?
Bleacher Report.
They're wrong.
All right. Well, I still love them here.
For reference, that would make them the best team to cover in the NBA, which is, I just posted this on Twitter earlier today. I literally posted the power rankings for across the spread. The Cavaliers are 9-3 ATS. Okay,
that's wild. So, I mean, I still like it. 73% of the bets are coming in on Portland.
Sure.
So I'm going to go sharp side, and I will lay the points with the Rockets.
So, for record, I'm staying away from the spread in this one. I can sympathize with Houston covering. Portland is 1-6 ATS in their last 7. They've been bad. So I feel like Houston could keep it close, but I'm still taking Portland money line here. That's my one of my picks of the night. Both teams are coming off of losses. Of course, Houston is. They've lost 9 in a row. Portland, they are coming off a loss up against the Suns. 10-point margin. They lost 119 to 109. I feel like this is a good opportunity for the Trailblazers. Get a nice, easy matchup on the road. Try to build some comfort playing away from home, and maybe we can make some moves forward. Maybe we can get some improvement out of Dame Lillard. So it sounds like we're both, slam dunking the Blazers to win outright. I don't want to touch the spread, and that's because of the trend on Portland. Not so much for any trends in favor of Houston, but just because Portland has had trouble maintaining leads, keeping themselves in the game when they're playing from behind. So I'm going Portland on the money line. I don't love the spread in this game, and it's just hard to trust Houston in general. Shame on Bleacher Report. Shame on Bleacher Report.
I mean that's
was that from 2018?
Like it's a big miss there. Yeah, with James Harden still on the roster.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? 9-2 is like. I knew it was like that would put them best in the league. For reference, if you guys didn't see this on my Twitter today, it's pinned right now at TITTHJB. The NBA ATS Power Rankings. I'll just go through the top 5. Cavaliers 9-3, the Bulls 8-3, Warriors 7-3-1 tonight. Heat 8-4, Grizzlies 7-4. So, and the Grizzlies, Spurs, and Wizards are all tied at 7-4. So, yeah, sure. The Spurs cover when I don't bet on them.
That's your favorite team, I swear.
It's terrible. It's terrible, man. I don't know why. Like, even tonight, I was like, after I bet the Drew Eubanks prop, I'm like, he plays for the Spurs. What am I thinking? Like, what am I doing? I was telling Steve before we got started, and I'm like, thank God the Bengals don't play this week because I don't have to lose any money on them. It's the same thing with the Spurs. They're like my brother and sister. They're just like right there next to me. Like, oh, pick. Easy. All right, next up, we got the Brooklyn Nets traveling to New Orleans, coming in as road favorites, -9.5 on the spread, -450 on the money line. And the over-under in this game is at 214 points even. Brandon Ingram is out of this game. Of course, no Zion still for this year. I mean, are you ready to lay the points with the Nets? I took him at -7.
Yeah, I'm laying the points even here at -9.5. They just
Hmm.
beat the Magic in their last outing by 33. Pelicans are, one of the worst in the NBA.
Hmm.
I think they'll have no problem covering that spread. I do like Devontae Graham, especially with Ingram out. I like Devontae Graham to have a big game
I was going
for
to
the
say Nikhil
Pelicans.
Walker-Alexander. Nah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah. Give me a good game for Nah. I also have Josh Hart on the fantasy waiver wire. His name's going to be coming up here later on the show. He was ejected out of his last game, but the couple of games prior to that, he was getting some good usage, racking up some stats. So we'll get back to him a little bit later. But you might be able to find some pieces with these injuries, that you can prop up in fantasy. All right, and it sounds like we're both really clean with the Nets here. Money line spread, of course. What do you think about the total 214?
Man. I'm gonna go under. I don't think the Pelicans do their part, and that also the Nets might be beating them by enough where
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm gonna go under.
Okay, we got Justin in the chat. Solid name, sir. Saying he's got Andre Drummond crushing it for him. Andre Drummond is actually the leader in total rebound percentage right now. So keep cashing in on that. Hammer down his rebound props, etc. And don't for a second keep him out of your fantasy lineups. Let's see. Also, do we like the bet 9.5 for the Hornets? You know what? I feel like the Hornets were up earlier. They're already playing. Right now, they're down 43 to 31. I'd like them to cover. If you're looking at a live number, I think that they can keep that game within 10. And about the
Totally.
Lakers, we'll get to them later, but I don't trust the Lakers spread. If you're going to pick that game, pick your money line winner. They're coming off a back-to-back after a big game up against Miami at home after a long overtime, or not long overtime, but one overtime. Extra minutes, as I say. But we'll get to the Lakers matchup here in a bit. I'm sorry, Steve. What were you saying about the total in that 214? I was getting distracted by the chat there.
No, I'm gonna go under. I think the Pelicans don't do their part, and then that also slows down the Nets because they've already beat them.
And both teams are 3-9 to the over, so there's very little upside that the Pelicans are going to do their part. All right, next up we've got the Phoenix Suns traveling to Memphis, coming in as road favorites, -1.5 on the spread, -123 in the money line. Over under is at 222.5. Very common number this evening. I like the Suns here. I think I just take them straight up money line. What do you like, Steve?
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. Don't even risk it. I don't think either team is that great against the spread. And the Grizzlies' defense lately has just been god awful. They gotta fix that.
Right.
And so I think Devin Booker can have a big game here. Yeah, I'm all over Suns money line.
Well, Memphis is in that top 5 that I mentioned before. They are 7-4 ATS, but the Suns are 6-4. So it just kind of goes as a draw, for that category. That's why I just recommend just staying away. I like the Suns more. They've been a better team, 7-3, to start the season, more well-rounded, led by Chris Paul. Obviously, he's got a tough matchup with Ja tonight. I don't necessarily think they cancel each other out. I think they both have pretty good games, but at the same time, I like the Suns and their experience to carry them away towards the end of this game. Keep in mind, Memphis does have Dillon Brooks back. He's played his first game and he played very well. So that does give them, a little bit more of an advantage. And they're playing at home. I don't hate the Grizzlies on the money line, but this game's going to be close. And with that, I'm just going to go with the better and more experienced team and the team I just trust more in the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, 100%.
What do you think about the 222.5? I'm kind of feeling the under here.
Ooh, I don't know. I kind of like the over. I feel like. Ja Morant's been getting it done, and like you said, I think both of them have a big game between Ja and Devin Booker. 222.5 is a tall number. I'll go over. I just think the Grizzlies' defense isn't there.
Okay, they're actually 4-1 in their last 5 to the under, so they must have been cleaning it up. Excuse me, but they're only 3-3 in their last 6. Phoenix is 6-0 in their last 6, so they're coming in on 6 wins straight. I'm going to trust them a little bit more, even though they might be due for a loss. All right, next up, we've got the Sacramento Kings coming into Oklahoma, coming in as road favorites. Lots of road favorites tonight. -4.5 on the spread, -190 on the money line. Over under in this game is at 219. I actually bought Oklahoma up to 5.5, and I took them to cover the spread here. They've actually been playing well at home. They are 6-4 ATS on the season, 6-1 ATS in their last 7. So I'm taking them to cover it. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the Thunder to cover here. Just it being in Oklahoma City changes it a
Mm-hmm.
bit. We need to see more out of Darren Fox. He hasn't been very efficient in
Yep.
shooting and everything like that.
Agreed.
Harrison Barnes has kind of carried that load, but for this Kings team to actually be good, they got to get De'Aaron Fox going. His efficiency has actually just like fallen off a cliff from years past. So
Right.
I like the Thunder on the spread.
He's trying to take a step forward. He's trying to get that A1 shooting game going. Unfortunately, he's putting up Kobe shots, not putting down Kobe points.
Yes.
So he's got to clean that up a little bit. Tyrese Halliburton is also a game time decision tonight. It's at 8 Eastern, so it should be coming up. I feel like we should know if he's in or out. I don't know what the heck here. He is in, so he is good to go. Confirmed lineup. He is going to be starting, so he should be good. But they've been playing with a good pace. It's just that they're not playing defense whatsoever. Give me the OKC to cover. I don't know if I really love the total. We're at 219. Oklahoma's 2-8 on the year to the over.
Well, I think they're only averaging like 96 points a game.
I think it's a little bit higher than that. It's like 102, but you're not far off.
Thunder?
Yeah. They are averaging 99. My bad. 99.
Okay.
99.1.
Yeah. So that does kind of worry me. I could also see like a 115, 110 game though. I don't know. I'll go over. I always go over, I feel like, with Kings games.
Yeah, and it feels that way just at the pace they play. They move the ball up and down the court very quickly, play at a high pace. I love that about them, especially for fantasy and for props, because they keep the game flow going, put up more shots, more opportunity, right? Whether it's rebounds, extra possessions, whatever you're getting. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma City to cover. I don't know if I love the outright win, but I'm going to take them to cover, stay away from the money line, and I'm going to take the under 219, especially if I'm going to have the Thunder cover, and we just kind of went over how they're scoring and everything. Like that means that they're kind of setting some level of the tempo. So I'm going to go with the under the 219 and give me OKC to cover the 5.5. I bought it up 1 point. Very important to keep in mind. Next up, we've got the Dallas Mavericks coming into San Antonio. Road favorites, -2.5 on the spread, -142 on the money line. 219 is the total in this game. I don't really love this game. It's kind of a coin flip for me. I thought that Dallas would put up a better fight up against the Bulls. I'm also, just mind dead or brain dead when it comes to the Spurs. So what do you think? What do you think here, Steve? Maybe I'll just piggyback off of you.
You'll like this. I know you'll like this. I'm going Spurs +2.5.
All right.
I think that's what I would go. They're really good. He's faded me. No, it's 7-4 against the spread for the Spurs. I don't like the Mavs. I think they've really like started pretty slow this season, and they've kind of only beat bad teams. I don't think that they're beating very good teams. Not saying the Spurs are like some out of this world team,
right?
But they could just kind of throw bodies at them, and I think they'll be fine. So I'm going to take Spurs +2.5, and I'm going under in this game.
They are somehow 7-0 as favorites, so I'm going to go Dallas. I don't know what it is, but they're 7-0 as favorites. So the teams that they're beating, I don't know how that's working out. Like what the lines are like in that, because like you said, like they're only beating bad teams, but they're 7-0 as favorites. So I guess that makes sense. I'm going to go Dallas just on the money line. You're getting good value there at the, what was it? -142. So I think that's deep. I just don't love them on the road. Dallas to San Antonio. Is that the road? Is it far? You probably have some fans traveling, right? So I'll go with Dallas there, staying away from the spread. What do you think about the 219, the total?
I'm going to go under.
Yeah, I like that.
I just think the pace of play for both of these teams is kind of just a slower tempo. So I think this is an easy under for me.
Yeah, Dallas ranks 25th to total score on offense, and they rank 15th on defense. 12th on defense. San Antonio ranks 15th. So both are in the top half of the league for defensive total score, and you have Dallas, who's really not providing the same level of offense that we're typically used to.
Wild that they're 25th. You said 25th. That right? 25th.
Yeah.
That's tough for a superstar led team in the Mavericks.
Well, like we mentioned, like Luka's he's got a slow start. I feel like he's going to figure things out and, straighten the course here for them. But I also feel like they're a team that needs to make a move. Like Porzingis is just not the guy that they were expecting to get back in that deal from New York. He's not even a second level star. I mean, and that's what they need. He really does need some support. And the way the NBA is right now, I don't think that you want to, as an organization, you want to try to run the same route as the Bucks. It worked out for them this year. I mean, do you consider anyone other than Giannis like a level 2 star other than Middleton?
Oh no, Middleton is, that guy.
Yeah, he is, right? But you got to have somebody there. You don't have anyone like that in Dallas. Like Porzingis is not a Middleton. He's not a specialist at any one thing. Like he's a big guy that can shoot, but not shoot well, right? He's a big guy that can move up and down the floor because of his size and athleticism, but you got to be on the floor. You got to be healthy, right? Like he just doesn't have enough upside for me to say like, oh yeah, they're going to be this deadly threat come the playoffs. It's just how far is Luka going to carry you? And I feel like they just, Cuban's got to get creative here and try to make a deal and get him another star or, do you consider Tobias Harris to be like a second level guy?
A low end, probably second guy. Right. But yeah, I think you could maybe consider him in there just because of him being with the Sixers and them having Embiid and Simmons for the past however many years. Maybe we don't view him as that. I'd say a low end second star. So
two low end guys like that then, or something, I mean, honestly, right now they should be trying to get in the mix for Simmons. Simmons can play all sorts of positions for them. You know what I mean? Like they should try to get into that market. What they have to give up, I have no idea. Nothing that the 76ers are going to find acceptable. That's for sure for, the level that they've been asking for in return. All right, moving along here. We got Atlanta Hawks coming into Denver as road dogs. Finally, a road dog tonight. +4 on the spread, +144 on the money line. Over under is at 214.5. With that, I like the Nuggets. Sorry, road dog Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks have been stinking. Give me Denver here. They're getting Jokic back after the 1-game suspension. We can talk about that here in a second if you want. But they've just been the better team. Like Atlanta has not played with any consistency whatsoever. The Nuggets on paper are better, bigger in the paint. I love their ball distribution. They have their guys coming off the bench contributing. They're going to be without Michael Porter Jr., but I don't think that moves a needle enough for me to take the Hawks here. Agree, disagree? What do you like?
No, I'm 100%. The Hawks they had that hot start. I think they started maybe 3-1, and it kind of seemed like that Eastern Conference Finals wasn't a fluke. And then, I mean, this week or last week, you started to hear Trey Young say he's getting bored of the regular season. It doesn't get him excited like playoff basketball does. And it's like, to get playoff basketball, you got to play these games, buddy. So,
yeah, exactly.
Just 1-7 against the spread. I'm going to go the Nuggets here.
Yeah, give me the Nuggets the same. What do you think about the total 214.5? And I don't really want to touch the spread either way.
I'm going to go, I think I go over here. I still think the Hawks can put up some points. Basically, I think Trey Young can put up the points. I'm going to take the over here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the over as well. I think the Hawks, they still play at a pretty good pace, and Trey does get the ball up and down the floor, whether he's scoring or distributing. So I'll go over 214.5. For a Denver Nuggets team, I think that's a little bit too low. All right, here we go. One we've been waiting for. Doubles coming into Golden State, coming in as road dogs, +5.5 on the spread, +185 in the money line, and the over-under is at 222.5. That's what I like the most in this game is the under 222.5. Like I mentioned, you're looking at number 2 and number 3 between these two teams for total score to defense. So both have been playing at a very high mark on D. Both are still scoring. The Bulls are 12th in the league in total scoring. And, of course, Steph and the Golden State Warriors are number 1. So Golden State is number 1 in total scoring on offense and number 2 in total scoring on defense. Wow. I mean, I think we expected them to bounce back, and have a good year. Right? But, man, that's sitting at the top of the tier on both sides of the ball. Like, I absolutely love it, but not tonight. Not tonight. Give me the +185. Let's go. 8-3. We were stretching the floor with these guys. We're playing at a great pace. You got, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. They have the best start for the Bulls since Jordan and Pippen when they had 7 games in a row or it's 8 games in a row now over 20 points apiece.
Yeah.
Give me the Bulls. I mean, obviously it's a homer pick. It's not on my best bets chart by any means. I'm playing the homer here, but that's because I'm excited, man. Like, let's go. Things are looking good. Are you just gonna fade that and take the safe money with Golden State?
So actually, I'm not going to take the money line. I love it. As a homer, I want to take that just as much. Might have to sprinkle something right before tip off. I'll probably be like, fuck it. But I'm going to take the Bulls plus the 5.5 here. I think the Warriors can win this game. Okay, would you say the Warriors are the best team in the NBA right now?
They are. They're 10-1. They're the best team.
Yeah, but I mean, just based off skill and everything right now, would you say that what team do you see better?
I like the Heat, but the Heat, even early in this season, they're playing like the Heat. They're playing Jekyll and Hyde ball. You know what I mean? Like they don't have that consistency. You don't know what to expect night in and night out. Just when you think they're rolling towards a trend, reverse.
Yeah.
Like that's been their identity for the past 2 seasons, though. Even when they went into the bubble, like that's who they have been. And they're just a tough team to trust. But when you look at the roster operationally, like that should be a high-end ball club. Like they should be a top 3 seed in the East, right? But they've had their eyes poked in a few times. Just like, well, what are you doing? Like I felt like they should have taken care of business last night on the road in LA. I mean, they went to overtime against a very good team, but they didn't pull it out. And that's just kind of how I always see them. Just 4 steps forward, 3 steps back, and you're still making progress, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Any other teams that you would say are in that caliber? Like I would like to say the Bulls. They're 8-3 ATS. Good teams win, great teams cover. Go Bulls! But it's still really early. We're missing a piece at that 4. Like I don't know how long it works where DeMar is just lighting everybody up, playing that stretch 4, and not having that really strong presence in the paint.
Yeah, I agree. I personally do think the Warriors are. And then knowing that they're second in points against, I really like that. So I like the Bulls to cover. I maybe would even buy it up a point. And then
definitely take that up to 6.5 or 7. I would be a big fan of that. Anything where you're getting minus 150 or lower for as good as the Bulls have been playing, and with them on the road, I think minus 150 or lower is great.
Definitely. And then, I'm going to go the under here. Just 2 teams that second and third in defense. So, I'm going to take the under. Good ball. But I need 30 points from Levine, damn it.
Exactly. Bulls, unfortunately, are 0-6 ATS, their last 6 in Golden State. But we got a brand new bag. We got a whole new horse of a different color here with the way the Bulls are looking right now. So I kind of throw that out, but it just show that they haven't been playing that well in Golden State when traveling on the West Coast. It's just kind of the West Coast, narrative. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
All right. Last one up here. We've got the Lakers and the Timberwolves. So Timberwolves coming into Los Angeles plus 2.5 on the spread. Road dogs plus 115 on the money line. Over under is at 223. I don't love this game. We had, Justin in the chat asking about the Lakers covering the minus 2.5. I stay away from that spread. If you like the Lakers, then you take them at minus 135. I do think that they're the better team. As much as people have been knocking them, they still have a 7-5 winning record to Minnesota's 3-7. So I do like the Lakers here, but just give me them on the money line. And I don't want to mess with that 223. I feel like it's the under. That's my instincts, but I just don't want to touch it. It's not a number that I love.
Yeah, I mean, neither team really that good against the spread. I mean, Timberwolves are god-awful against the spread. I think you just move away from any spread. You go money line with the Lakers here. I don't see any upside. I mean, I guess maybe if you're going to say just because the Lakers are so banged up right now that the Timberwolves have a chance. They've lost 6 straight. It's going to be another dumpster fire year in Minnesota, I feel like. So, I just take Lakers money line, and I'm going to take the under 223.
Speaking of them Timberwolves, and we were talking about Dallas earlier needing another piece.
Carl
Anthony Towns. That's a needle mover. That's a needle mover. Luka and Cat. Oh man, like now we're talking.
Oh yeah.
Now we're cooking with oil. That would be a great location. Anywhere else that you'd really like to see him move to?
I mean, I would be interested to see him if they could package something. I mean, moving Bam to Minnesota, I like him going. I guess no, that would never work though. Butler and him hate each other. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
forgot about that one.
It's not on his list.
Yeah, I guess I don't mind it though. Him going to the Mavs. That'd be a good fit. Get someone Luka. I want to see Luka thrive.
Oh yeah, I would love that. But do you think that Golden State could pull off, like Wiseman, maybe Wiseman, Draymond in a piece for Cat?
I don't know if they'd move Draymond personally.
If you get
I don't
Towns, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because they got Clay coming back.
Personally, I would do it. I would make the trade now, but I think Draymond to that organization just means I think he's a great basketball player for them in his time there. So I think they kind of hold him to a special standard.
Love and basketball. The sequel, Draymond and Golden State. Yeah, I feel you. But I don't know, like that lineup, think about like post-Christmas, Steph, Clay, Wiggins, blah, 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 random guy, and Karl Anthony Towns. Wow.
They do have Wiseman to dangle out there. I don't know how much that moves the needle for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But also, dude, the Timberwolves know that they've been through this process before where their star player gets disgruntled and then they're just like, you know what? We can get a guy for him, so let's just do it.
That'd be an interesting move. There's no one else maybe the Celtics, if they got a lot to offer. They got like a lot of picks. OKC's got a lot of picks, but that wouldn't work. That wouldn't happen. All right, let's move along here. We're gonna go through some quick fantasy waiver wire. These are definitely some deeper plays for reference as well. Trying to dig in a little bit for some opportunity plays, lower percentage. So some leagues, they may be more favorable. Other leagues may not so much if, you don't have like really deep rosters. All right, first up, we've got Frank Kaminsky of the Phoenix Suns, 26% rostered on Yahoo formats. He's coming off a 50 fantasy point evening. He had 31 points the other night up against Portland, 31, 7-3. Game before that, 10-5, 16, 6-4 the game prior. I mean, the production's starting to roll in here as he's getting more consistent minutes. You're looking at 32, 22, 29. He had a 6-minute night. I don't know if he was ejected or just got into foul issues, and 29 minutes the night prior. Definitely someone that I want to get on my roster here. Any objections to Kaminsky?
No, I mean, he's getting an opportunity with DeAndre Ayton sidelined. So right now, I think he's actually one of the hotter ads to get.
Do you know what his return looks like?
No,
I don't either. Something to keep in mind. But yeah, I feel like the opportunities there. He's getting blocks, he's getting assists, like he's doing a little bit of everything. So definitely go ahead and grab him. It might be for a short while, and until Ayton comes back. He really wasn't doing much of anything prior to that. Prior to November. So definitely go out and look for him. Should definitely be owned for sure, just given the recent production. Yeah, no other objections there. Like he's getting priority over like Cam Johnson. Who is their other big guy that's not coming to me right now? Saric is hurt as well. Dario Saric is hurt as well. That's who it was.
Yep.
All right. Next up, we've got Josh Richardson of the Boston Celtics. 15-3-1, 13-2-3 his last couple of games here. Getting a bit of a minute increase. It's probably from the Jalen Brown injury. Yeah. Any update on him? Do you have?
Jalen Brown out with a hamstring, I believe it is. Let me see if I can find out when he's going to be back. But what are your thoughts here on what's the name when I find it?
Josh Richardson. And I mean, I like the ad, but I feel like it's similar to Kaminsky where it's only going to be time oriented. You're going to wind up, popping them back on the waiver wire. Only 10% rostered and 6+ in the last day or so. Again, it's more of a timely start, timely ownership. I don't expect Brown to be gone too long. Says that he could still play on this current or on the road trip that's upcoming. That's from today. So they're about to go on the road, I guess, because they're playing at home tonight. It's like, I don't understand that. But no, Jalen Brown, I mean, what if he gets moved? I guess that's the only concern. It seems like he's been, the guy that has been most preferred in their trade offers. I honestly would be looking to move Tatum rather than Brown, but that's just me. I'm not a Celtic fan by any means. So, but I think Jalen Brown is more of a well-rounded player. Rebounds, assists, just ball movement in general, floor leader, whatever. Tatum's just a guy that's going to chuck up points. If they were to move either one of them, I think Josh Richardson would be a hold, but I don't know. I feel like he's just kind of a guy to pop on and off the waiver wire right now. What do you think?
Yeah, I do think he's a bit of a guy that you could get off the waiver wire and plug him in for a day or so. Obviously, he's getting minutes with Jalen Brown out, so monitor that. He's been getting about like 30 minutes. And his big struggle at the beginning of the year is he had some just injuries that was keeping him sidelined. So he'll start to settle in here. And I even think maybe if Jalen Brown comes back and they do make a trade, whatever it, maybe I do think you'll see his role expand here as the season progresses.
Yep, agreed. All right, next up we've got Naz Reid of the Minnesota Timberwolves. The minutes aren't really there. Like his last game, he had a fair amount, 25, but before that, 14, 16, 12, 14, 18, 10, not a ton, but he puts them to good use. Just starting, we'll forget the last game because it was his best game, probably why a lot of people are adding him. He had 25 minutes, 16, 7, and 2. But prior to that, with the, we'll say low amount of minutes, still respectable. Starting at 14, 8, 5, and 1, 8, 5, and 2, 11, 0, and 2, and a steal. 11 or 10, 2, and 1 with a steal, 14 or 12 and 4. Like these aren't bad numbers. They're just, not going to, shoot you to the moon by any means. But if you're looking for somebody to plug in and out, like, last night we didn't have a ton of games, right? So you need to get that extra, game on your total, whether it's points or whether it's categories, you got to fill that out. This is definitely a guy I look to on those nights. It's not tonight when we're loaded with games, but if we have a few less games tomorrow, he's definitely someone that you want to use. Their next game is the 12th or today, and they're playing tomorrow. So they're playing back-to-backs in LA. They're playing the Lakers tonight, and they're playing the Clippers tomorrow. He's a guy, like if I'm missing someone in my lineup, I'll easily pop him in tonight and tomorrow. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's definitely on, those random days where there's maybe 3 games on there. Yeah, you pop him in. It's crazy that like correlation between his fantasy points to the minutes he's been playing. He gets it done in very limited minutes. Right. 20 fantasy points, 14 minutes, 18, 16, 22, 12. It's just like, he gets it done with, low teens numbers. Any those defensive stats that he can throw in there too definitely help.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the blocks and steals for the minutes that he's playing, that's pretty damn good too. I mean, he's not turning the ball over, so that saves a category, right? Like especially if you're in the cat leagues, that's gonna hold you down for a day, right? You're not driving that number up, because that can happen sometimes when you're constantly going to that waiver wire. You can lose field goal percentage, you can lose turnovers by the amount of volume that you're playing. So, I think Naz Reid is definitely a decent ad right now. I mean, if we're just talking about Karl Anthony Towns leaving, if he was to leave, Naz Reid would be a great hold for sure. So in deeper leagues, I do think he should be held. You could see, we're at 11 games for Minnesota. Where are they at on my sheet? They're at 10 games. So how many, more sets of 10 go by before they can move Karl Anthony Towns? I feel like Naz Reid could be a nice little spot there for him if they do wind up moving on from him.
Real quick. Is Vooch out? Is he going to miss a lot of time with COVID now?
Vucevic is out tonight?
Yeah, I just think I saw this.
Oh, no.
Tested positive for COVID. Miss multiple games. Yeah, that came out yesterday.
Oh, shit. That's a min 10, I believe. 10 days out. 10-day gone.
That's going to be tough now.
Yeah, that is not ideal for this evening. I was not aware of that. I don't know why. I had the lineup thing right here.
I don't think Vooch has been playing his best basketball. I think it's something that we'll experience down the road when, say, DeRozan cools off. Then you'll see Vooch have a little more production, but it is still a huge loss, especially when the Bulls are hurting for bigs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was going to get to, is that because we don't have that strong presence in the paint, we're constantly getting that extra look. We're always moving the ball, which is great. And that will help Vooch, down the stretch of the season, like, getting more of those corner threes, being able to spot up at the free throw line, free throw jump shots and stuff like that, and really work on his perimeter game. If we can get a guy like, like a Jeff Green or a Bol, obviously Denver, they've got some depth there in the paint. So maybe we could, steal one of those guys, or I don't know, like even if it was like someone like a Naz Reid or a McDaniels from Minnesota, somebody like that. Like if we could just get like another solid big guy, like I don't like Tony Bradley. He's starting ahead of Vooch. You can't throw out Vooch and Tony Bradley at the floor at the same time. You're just a little too big, and you don't have that ability to stretch the floor like the way that they're using DeMar right now, because that that approach creates a lot of open lanes, extra looks, just great ball movement in general. And I feel like that's where our offense has really been propped up, is taking those extra looks, moving the triangle around an extra couple of pieces. I mean, did you see that highlight at the end of the game between, it was Caruso with the steal, dishes to Vooch, dishes to Lonzo, down the floor to Levine for a 360 dunk.
That was also amazing pass by Lonzo there.
That's what I'm saying, but it's everybody involved. You know what I mean? Like, look down the floor, highlight play. Like, that's what's happening all the time. I mean, that was literally at the very end of the game, like the game was in hand, but that's happening all the time. Those little plays like that. And when you have a guy like Lonzo Ball that is constantly, has a corner of his eye, an eye behind his head, whatever, always looking down the floor, like I feel like he stole that from LeBron, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I could be wrong, but that was something like LeBron and Dwayne were always doing. And I feel like it's kind of always like a little jab at him. I don't know. I could be wrong. Could just be something the ball boys like to do, but I absolutely love it. How long that works, I don't know. Vooch being out potentially 10 days isn't going to help. We're going to have a tough run here, but you know what? I certainly like your Zach LaVine prop a lot more. That's for sure. It's not deterring me from watching that game though. We're definitely going down with it. Down with the ship. All right, a couple more here on the fantasy waiver wire. We're looking at Darius Bazley for OKC. Now, this is somebody that you should grab and hold for sure. He's only 35% rostered, +4 across the last day, but regular minutes, great production. The last couple games here on playing time, you're looking at 34, 32, 24, 30, 27 minutes. His lines 14-7-1, 11-4, 14-5-1, 15-6-1, 5-8-0-1, 26-2-4-1. Like, he's getting it done. He's a starter. He plays a lot of minutes. I mean, he's just on a bad team. So if you're not owning him because he's on that team, then you're making a mistake. The production's there, the opportunity's there. You have any objections? I mean, this one's a home run.
I do agree that it's a home run. Should definitely be on rosters. Only 35%. That's surprising. One thing I will say, just turnovers are a bit of an issue with him, but it's a part of being on just a bad team that doesn't get much done. But definitely worth an add. He's going to add points and rebounds for you every week.
And look for his props too, like his TRAs, his total rebounds, points, and assists. Like, I think there's something there. I feel like, I don't know what his numbers were, but 22, or I'm sorry, that was the next guy. 14 and 7, that puts him to 21. With the assist, that's at 22. The game before that, he was at 22 with just points and rebounds, and he had 4 assists. Like, I can't imagine the books have like a crazy high number on him. You know what I mean? Like, I would expect him to be like around like 21.5 for points, rebounds, and assists. So I think that he's definitely somebody to look at. Maybe even like DFS. Like, I can't imagine he costs a ton, right? So maybe he goes off for one of those big nights on a night you play him in DFS. So definitely be keeping an eye and ear out for Darius Bazley going forward.
I'm gonna see what his number. They've already started. Never mind.
All right, fair enough. Something to look at for next week.
Yeah.
All right, next up we've got Josh Hart for the New Orleans Pelicans. His last game, if you look at the production line, you have to keep in mind that he was ejected, so only played 15 minutes. The games prior, he had, I believe, 5 straight games of 30-plus minutes, so 37, 30, 32, 30, and 30, and the production's been there. And this is another situation, bad team, but great opportunity for the player, right? Like, Brandon Ingram's going to be out tonight. That props up more opportunity for Hart. You already have Zion out, so that pushes him to the starting lineup because they're putting Ingram in at the 4. This is another guy I just feel like you have to own. Again, you look at the last game, it's not great, so don't fall into that. He was ejected. He got out early. I don't know what it was. But games prior, 41.7, 28.8, 14.6, 35.3, 29.6, 21.5 fantasy points. What's not to love here?
No, I love Josh Hart. Last year, he was a big part of this Pelicans team, I feel like. Gets it done with points and rebounds. If Ingram misses more time, I like that. He just, missed early parts of the series, really started the season at the beginning of this month. I like him to settle in and be a big part here.
All right. I absolutely agree. We got Justin number 2 in the chat. He was saying that he likes Harrison Barnes over 18.5. I'm assuming that's points, and we both love that. He's been on fire for them. I don't know the over under to that stat, across the season so far, but I know that he was starting games off with over 30, over 25, over 22. Like, I love that 18.5 number. He was also asking for our NBA finals prediction. I mean, right now, I don't know who's coming out of the East, but I got to go the Warriors. This is a team that's playing great ball right now, and they're going to get Klay Thompson back right around Christmas, just before, just after, whether it's the new year. I feel like it's going to be the Warriors. They're going to be making a deep run here. Out of the East, man, the East is so close, super close. Warriors, Bucks, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough to argue that. Like you said, the East is so close. I think the Warriors are really the only like clear-cut team right now. I think other teams you can find an issue with, and the fact that you add Klay Thompson back, that's huge for a team that's already dominating with what they got. We'll say the Cavs come out of the East.
Let's go. Good teams win, great teams cover. The best team against the spread this season, the Cavaliers. Lauri Markkanen's going to the finals. Let's go. That would be hilarious. Man, that would be something else if that was the case. All right, let's keep it cooking here. We got just a little bit left. Last guy up, Drew Eubanks. Let's go. Let's get over that 19.5 tonight. Coming off his biggest minutes of the year, like I mentioned at the top of the show, Jacob Poeltl going to be out for a little bit. So 22 minutes in his last 2 games here, 37.2, 38.2 fantasy points, 18-6-2, 14-11-2, 5-4-2, 10-5-1. I mean, these past 4 games have been great. I have to think even when Poeltl comes back, like he's going to earn more playing time. This little surge of production is going to keep him on the floor because, Keldon Johnson, a darling from last season, he's kind of taken a dip to start this year. Yeah,
definitely. I like Eubanks. He got to the free throw line 10 times or made 10 free throws last week. I mean, he's really getting it done in every facet of the game. Yeah, I can't see a reason not to monitor this guy right now.
He's kicking my ass this week, by the way. He's on Blake's team. Blake, I hope you're getting better, by the way. Blake's sitting at home. He's got COVID for like the second time. Absolutely brutal. Hope you're feeling better, sir. I can't imagine going through it once. Don't even want to think about going through it twice, but at least he's kicking my ass this week in fantasy. So, and it's mostly because of Drew Eubanks putting up over 70 between his last 2 games, almost touching 80 fantasy points. So, cheers to Blake for getting him on his roster. He's only 20% rostered, and that's 14% across the past day here. All right, let's jump into our live betting. I have got to get those numbers pulled up. I don't have them in front of me for some reason, but I do have Boston and Milwaukee on right in front of me here. We're looking at 47-46. We're actually not looking bad to the total, Steve. I had 211, and we still have 3.5 left in this quarter. I think we're going to be well on pace to go over the original number here.
Yeah, I mean, them dumping in 60 in the first quarter for you really keeps you on pace. So yeah, I don't mind it. Bobby Portis having a game, 10 points.
Cool.
Seems like even Drew Holiday, he's kind of started slow to the season, I feel like. Mm-hmm. He's got 8 on the night. Grayson Allen, 8. So your boy, Grayson Allen.
My boy, the tripper. Oh, he got a hockey assist on that one. Drove to the paint, kicked it to the wing. Wing kicked it up to the top of the key to Nwora. Bang. Although I don't know why I'm doing play-by-play. That may actually infringe upon the NBA. Apparently, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you did notice this because you're not on the book. You're not on the Facebook.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so our page got shut down last week. Yeah, Take It to the Hizzy was erased because they said that we infringed on NBA copyright. I'm actually looking at our background because I was all worried. I was like, oh, it's probably our background. There's nothing in the background other than the top of the championship.
We did stay on for a little while at the end talking about like watching a game because I have no idea.
Well, it's freedom of fucking speech, pal. I don't know. I can say whatever I want about the NBA. Those are my words. That's my copyright. They feel
threatened by us. I don't know. They feel threatened by us.
Yeah. So I essentially had to just like bitch at Facebook and be like, evidence, show me evidence. And every time I would ask for something, they would say, well, refill out the same exact information again. Refill out the same information again. I did that 3 exact times. Every time I did, I asked for more evidence. And they didn't provide any. And then they just turned it back on. bastard.
Suck it, Zuckerberg.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be friends, Zuck. Is life less stressful not being on the book? I feel like I mean, it's literally like all sports for me, but
I mean, it was also one of those things I just didn't use anymore. So it was just like, and I will say I deleted it probably last summer. I haven't looked back once. Not once have I been like, damn, I need Facebook.
Well, we need clicks and we need views, man, to the Hizzy. So it's like literally the only thing keeping me there. I told everybody, I was like, if they shadow ban us, really, without any evidence or nothing, I'm gone. Like, there's no reason to be here whatsoever. Like, yeah, I like the sports groups, but even then, you're going to have somebody that makes something way too damn political or just blow something out of proportion. It's so annoying. You know, I don't know. I'll digress away from that a little bit, but we actually had the football background on last week. I had no idea. I didn't even know.
I guess I didn't notice that either.
Yeah, neither of us did. You know, it was just accidentally left up from the previous show. I didn't switch it. So I'm like, what could I have put on the show? And I was thinking, I was like, maybe like when I gave that play-by-play for the Derrick Rose alley-oop to Obi Toppins, you know, it was a huge poster play. It was great. Yeah. I was like, maybe that was it. Like, they don't want us calling games live or something like that. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. But yeah, me and the Facebook, we went to war there from last Friday evening through, I think it was Tuesday morning or something like that. Just deleted everything.
So you can do anything for like Sunday or anything.
Well, our stream wasn't on Sunday and our Monday show wasn't on there either. Yeah, so that was it. Those were the only shows that weren't on the Facebook stream. But then whatever it was, Wednesday we were back and it was fine.
Good stuff.
But still, hot freaking garbage. Get out of here, Zuck. If you die in the metaverse, you die. It's my favorite meme so far from that whole thing. All right, jumping into live betting, we got the Knicks and the Hornets tied. What'd I tell you, Justin? Take the Hornets to cover. Tied. We're at 9:08 left in the third. Hornets are off to a strong start in the second half with a 12-3 run. Now we've got the Hornets at +2.5. I'll take it. They're playing at home. Hornets have been a great team on offense. I'll take them to cover the +2.5 right now while they're tied.
Kemba Walker having a big game, 20 points tonight. Hey, it's a revenge game, I guess, for him. I will go Hornets. A lot of the public was on, I think it was 72% to start the game, was on the Knicks at a very similar spread. I think it was like 2.5. I'll go Hornets.
I'm going to go with Hornets live as well. They've been a great team on offense. I mean, the Knicks have been solid, but we watched them last week, or we watched the Knicks actually make a comeback. I don't know. I feel like they're going to wind up blowing this one. They were up big, obviously already blowing a big lead here. So give me the Hornets on the +2.5. Next up, we've got Pistons and the Cavaliers. Excuse me. Right now, we have the Cavs up 52-41 over the Pistons. I did not take them to cover tonight because I had the -5. Shame on me. I did bet the money line. That was like around -200, but looks like that's going to be a nice win. The Cavs have been taking care of business. Best team in the league across the spread, if we didn't already mention it. Steve, right now the Pistons are getting +9.5. What do you think? Can they hold up? They're down by 11, and it's at break time. Break time.
I think I'm still going to go the Cavs here. They really have it going. Jared Allen's got 11. Garland's got 12. Mobley's got 11. Mobley's been great for them this year.
He has.
Absolute home run pick. Also, Ricky Rubio having like career points or career high in points, all that. And so I like them here. I just don't think that the Pistons have enough. Cade Cunningham's having a decent game, and they're still down 12.
Yeah, I'll take the Cavs to cover that. I don't love the 9.5. I'd probably take that down or just like wait for some action at the start of the third to maybe get it down to like 7, and I'd feel pretty good. Because like I said, I stayed away from the 5. Shame on me, but you know it's still the Cavs at the end of the day. You know, like it's Cleveland. We talking about Cleveland. All right, next up we got the Bucks and the Celtics, who I have on in front of me here. Bucks are down 49-51. We've got just about 2:15 left to go in the second. Got the Celtics coming up the floor here. We'll call out this possession. Smart to the top of the key for a 3-pointer. Nothing. Brick. 2 minutes left coming back the other way for the Bucks. Again, down by 1. We got True Holiday at the top of the key. One-on-one with Schroeder. Backs him down at the free throw line. Dishes off to George Hill at the top of the key outside the 3-point line. Coming in for a pick and roll with Thansisis Antetokounmpo. Kicks it to Allen in the corner. Somebody was out of bounds. Looks like George Hill ran on the line. and that's those 2 possessions there. We're looking at 4.5 points to the Bucks right now. I love that. They're only down by 2. They've kept it close. Even with Giannis out, it's still the Celtics. They're also missing Brown. Celtics, I just never trust them. All very similar to Miami, very Jekyll and Hyde to start this season. They're playing at home, but that doesn't do enough for me. What do you think about the 4.5?
I'm actually going to go opposite. I think the Celtics just can. They haven't played good basketball, but I think they can get it done. They're getting good scoring from Dennis Schroeder tonight. So yeah, I do like them to cover there, and I'm getting them at what, plus 4.5?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that. Did they use Peyton Pritchard anymore?
It doesn't look like it. No.
Yeah,
that's not a thing anymore. Also similar to Facundo Campazzo not getting minutes. What the hell is that all about?
That was our guy.
I know. I mean, great name. It's like talking about Divine Azigbo. Great name. No playing time. Okay. What the hell?
Campazzo. I don't know why I'm forgetting this. Is it Jazz or Nuggets he's on?
Nuggets. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
put him out there with Jokic, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised
European
he
brothers.
Is against some. Jokic already has his own brothers to deal with right now.
We didn't even talk about that. What did you think about the Morris versus Jokic thing?
I mean, I think that Richard Jefferson had one of the best takes. He showed the replay of it, and it was like, if Morris doesn't throw his body and hip check into Jokic, it never happens, and he doesn't retaliate. Right. Who wins in an actual fist fight though, Jokic or Morris?
Probably Morris. I would probably trust his throws a little bit better.
He might have more experience than Jokic, just getting in some fights. I don't know. Jokic is a scary man though.
He's big, but like when he was running at him, it's not like I was scared for Morris. Like when he did it, I saw the replay. I was like, it's not that big a deal. Like this is in any other sport, not a big deal. Football, not a big deal. Hockey, not a big deal. Hockey, they literally fight each other. Like, come on. Like, yeah. And being a hockey guy, like watching, I'm just like, this is all a bunch of for nothing. This isn't Rumble at the Palace. You know what I'm talking about? Like, come on, like calm down. Everyone getting so hot and bothered by it. Oh, Jokic is cheap. He turned his back. Like, you don't think people hit each other on the back on the playground?
I didn't think it was
on the court
at all. I mean, because there was a action that provoked it from Jokic, and no one was in the right, and they're probably both just in the wrong. But even worse, little tussle was. Did you see the Rudy Gobert versus Miles Turner last night?
No, I didn't. But that's a great matchup. Let me see that rough and rowdy. I'll pay money for that one.
It was. I think they just both were grabbing each other by the arms. You got to watch it. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And then
I'll check it out for sure. I'll check it out for sure. Holy hell. George Hill just hit a crazy trick shot. They're up 55-51. I don't know how that wasn't a foul. But yeah, it looks like Milwaukee's going to go into the break with a lead. You got Schroeder driving to the paint, puts one up, in and out. 55-51 at halftime. But what I kept seeing from everyone was always reverting to like, oh, that's not how we do it on the block or on the court, outside or whatever on the streets. And it's just like, yeah, you guys also don't call charging fouls and blocking fouls. Like what are you talking about? Like there's going to be some scraps on the playground. Like you're going to see exactly what you saw. Like what are you talking about? I did think that trying to check him at half court was a bit aggressive, but do you? You know what I mean? Like if that's how you want to play, fine, but handle the response. Don't act look at the reaction of the players after that. Like, guys, did you see what your teammate did? Like Jimmy Butler, like out in the back, get in the back. Like, bro, like relax. Like it's not that big a deal, and you're not going to fight each other. Like you're not going to do it. Come on.
Yeah, the whole waiting, that photo of them waiting at the locker room being held back. It's like, all right, you're not that guy, pal.
What you waiting for? What, who are you waiting for? Like seriously, like someone's gonna walk you off. Nothing's gonna happen. Just a lot of this. Just a lot of this. But hey, we need clicks. ESPN's they got to sell views too. So I get it. I understand why they got to talk about it. But I liked Shaq's take on it. Like I liked it what Jokic did. As a big man, he's going to take a beating. And hey, you want to come beat me? I'll beat you right back up. So I'm paraphrasing. All right. Next up, we've got the Blazers and the Rockets. Blazers are up by 3, but not covering that 6. Right now, we're looking at the Blazers at minus 7.5 with just a 3-point lead with 12 minutes left. Well, they're about to start the second quarter. So through the first quarter, Blazers lead 30-27. You still going to take the Rockets to cover the 6? And what do you think about the 7.5?
Hey, I already said the Rockets. I might have been wrong about the Rockets against the spread, but they're doing good tonight, so I'm staying with it. I think I think the Rockets can do it. Who's doing the scoring here for Dame Lillard? Only got 4 points right now.
Surprise, surprise. Tell me it's McCollum. I need a big night out of CJ.
Yeah, he does have a good day. 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. But Nazir Little is Cody Zeller is the leading scorer with 8. Nazir Little with 7.
Good for Cody Zeller. Get it together, Cody Zeller. Play like a real big man over there. I'm still gonna take the Blazers money line. I don't love the Rockets in this one, and we're not getting any value on the money line live. Minus 400, but that's why I try to stay away from it. Blazers coming in 1-6 ATS. I mean, Houston, they're 5-5-1, so they don't have a losing record to ATS, but they're 1-10 on the season. So I just knew that wasn't going to be the case. That wasn't possible. All right, moving on. We got the Kings and the Thunder. Kings are up 28-17, just starting the second. This one's definitely trending to the under. Thunder need to get it together to cover the spread here. I think they'll figure it out. Right now, we're getting them at plus 8.5. Do you revert to the Kings, or are you ready to take the Thunder again?
I don't know. I think I got to revert to the Kings here.
Mm-hmm. Kings are off to a good start. 23-16 in the first quarter, 5-1 so far in the second quarter. So.
And I'm actually going to definitely flip to the Kings. Harrison Barnes has 0 points right now. That'll obviously change. Mm-hmm. Halliburton's got 5 in there. Rashawn Holmes has got 9 rebounds in 9 minutes and 6 points.
Holy hell.
Yeah. Easy double-double there for him.
What's Baisley doing? Baisley, we just talked you up, man. Get some rebounds. What the hell? What's Baisley doing?
Yeah, let's see. 3 points, 1 assist in 9 minutes. So not great there. But Giddey.
No rebounds makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. No, Giddey is really the only one. Got 5 points, 3 rebounds.
Old Josh Giddey?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. All right, next up, we've got the Suns. Wow, beating the dog piss out of the Grizzlies, 41-27. Looking at a 10.5 point spread here. I am not touching that spread. I do feel like the Grizzlies will cover 10.5. I guess that's the pick to make here, as you're not going to touch the money line. I think we still both agree on the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
You going to take Grizzlies at 10.5?
At that big of a number, I probably do, but
yeah,
I hit it here. They gave up 36 points in the first quarter. Their defense is just not there right now.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't know where we were going with that 4-1 in the last 5 to the under, but this game is definitely trending towards the over right now, and the Suns are carrying them in that aspect. I still feel like the Grizzlies will do their part. They'll cover the 10.5, so I think that's a pretty good pick right now while they're down by 14.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last up that are live, we've got Mavs and Spurs. They just started. Mavs are up 6-3. Still going with the Mavs. But if you're really fruity, you can get a 3.5 point spread right now. I think that's like 1 or 2 points better than the tip-off.
One. So. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, that wraps her up. You got anything to close her down with, bud?
Let's go Bulls. No Vooch, but we can still do it.
Yeah, I was about to get all pumped. I was like, no, you took the wind out of my sails, man. No, I don't feel as excited for that game. I'm still gonna have to watch because I gotta see Levine and Steph matchup. I want to see who they put on DeMar, and it's just another really good test for us. Like if you look at our last set of games, like we beat Dallas, we beat the Nets. Those back-to-back losses to the 76ers, I just won just one win. Like literally we have 3 losses on the season and the 76ers have 2 of them. You know what I mean? It's a fun team to watch right now. It's a fun team to watch. I know all you non-Bulls fans, you're probably knocking us, homers, favorites. Like, no, this is a fun team to watch right now. You like watching ball, go watch some of the Bulls. At least until
especially if you're even just a fan of gambling, they're covering,
Oh yeah. Well, not going to be so easy without Vooch, in my opinion. But that was a big piece of leverage for us in the paint. Like Looney, Draymond Green. Nah, we got Vooch. Like, let's go, Tony Bradley. Let's go. Let's look at some Tony Bradley prop really quick. Let me get his points, rebounds, assists. Let's see what we got just before we head out. Give a little extra value. Over under NBA. No, I don't want live, but it's good to know that that's available. I didn't even realize that. Tony, where you at, Tony? They are not even giving him a number.
I'm not getting odds on Tony.
They're
either.
Not even giving us a number. All right, they got to give us something on rebounds.
I do
nothing on rebounds either.
I like Ayo Dosunmu over 12.5 points, rebounds, assists.
I'm not even getting that, dude.
Oh yeah, I like that low number, 12.5. He's kind of just
he's been scoring like 8 to 10.
Yeah, he's just kind of a spark plug for him, and they'll throw him out there to play defense.
They do have Javonte Green at 13.5. I like that. Think he can hit? He's gonna have to start, right? He's gonna have to start the three.
I mean, he's gonna get good minutes. He runs the floor pretty well. That is one thing I do like about Javonte Green.
Yeah, but you know who else does too? Wiggins. That's who he's gonna be matched up with.
Yeah.
So maybe I take the under on that Green one just because I feel like Wiggins will do his part. Do you match up Lonzo Ball with Jordan Poole then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a great lineup that we have at least to combat those two. You put Zach on Steph, you put Ball on Poole, get a little upside there, but I don't think that we're getting the leverage up against Wiggins. Draymond is apparently a game time decision now. I didn't see that either.
That'd be huge.
I guess that would be big for us because that would put them in a much smaller lineup. Because I wouldn't not trust Draymond up against Tony Bradley. I mean, there's some size there, but I didn't even think about it. The Otto Porter revenge game.
No. Okay, I gotta see if anyone else thinks this. When they show him in like these old school or these new jerseys that the Warriors have, throwbacks, whatever they are, 75th anniversary, he looks like Wilt Chamberlain. Every time I look at him, I'm like,
Otto Porter?
Yeah, he's like got his hair short, he's got the mustache. I'm like, every time I see it, I'm like, God damn, Wilt Chamberlain's back on him.
He kind of, I could see it with
at a quick glance. I feel like
the size of his head and everything.
Yeah, maybe. Shape of his head. I feel like it might.
He's missing a couple inches though,
and a lot of talent.
Yeah. But he's been a nice little spot start from them. Like he's getting decent minutes and playing time, so good for him. He's playing on a really good team, but we have a pretty good one too. He wasn't really like one of our guys though. He was just kind of like someone we took on for salary. I feel like when he came from the Wizards.
Yeah.
And he's always hurt anyways. All right, cool. Well, I think that's all that we have for tonight. Be sure to like the video, share the video, and follow us on youtube.com/take it to the Hizzy. Let's go. You got anything, Steve?
No, be good.
All right, cool. Take care. Be well. Be good. If you can't be good at it. Later.